Quick question. There is an inequality on your screen right now. Tell me, how are you going to simplify this? What is the first thing that comes to your mind? Did you consider multiplying the left and the right side by the denominator? So that on the right side you have 0 times x minus 2, and on this entire left side you just multiply this whole thing by x minus 2 so that this gets cancelled to leave you with a much simpler inequality, which is this. Is this what you did? If yes, you're wrong and you're not alone. It's a very common mistake. Hi, I'm Shweta. I'm the lead Quant SME at e-GMAT, and in this video I'm going to tell you why what we typically do on a rational equation is not correct on a rational inequality, as you saw here. I'll tell you what the correct way is also. By the end of the video, you'll understand the difference between the two very clearly, why one thing works on equation and does not on an inequality, and how to correctly simplify rational inequalities. I'm also going to give you practice questions at the end of the video to help you cement all of this understanding. So stay tuned. Right now, we're going to start learning from the equation level. This is familiar ground. This is probably something that we do correctly every time we come across it. See what happens here. You have x plus 2, x plus 3 over x minus 2. I've kept the same expression. Just that this time you have an equal to sign instead of inequality that we had earlier. Now, how do we simplify this? In this case, we're used to multiplying both sides of the equation by the denominator. And what happens as a result is we do cancel out the x minus 2 on the left side like this, and we come to x plus 2 times x plus 3 equal to 0. Now you'll be wondering, this is exactly what we did on the inequality. Why was it wrong there? She's doing just the same thing here. Well, there's a very, very clear difference between how an equation and an inequality, how they work. There's one point of difference that you need to understand with respect to multiplying something on both sides. Look, here now, suppose my equation is 2 times 2 and 2. So 2 is equal to 2. I'm not even going into variables. You'll understand very well here. If I multiply both sides of this equation by, say, 3, I'm going to have 3 times 2 and 3 times 2. You see they are still equal, so multiplying both sides by 3 did not change anything. Similarly, suppose instead of multiplying both sides by 3, I multiply both sides by negative 3. So negative 3 times 2, negative 3 times 2, they're still the same. So no matter what I multiply on both sides of an equation, my equation is going to stay preserved. The left side and the right side, they are going to stay equal even after this. Now what happens in an inequality is slightly different. Let me show you exactly what happens here. Before we move on, tell me, how are you enjoying the video so far? If you're enjoying it, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel for more such content. We continuously create such high quality content to help you in your preparation journey. For now, let's continue. So I'll again take an example. So you have 2 and 3. So you know 2 is less than 3. Now I'm going to multiply some numbers on both sides and I'm going to see, is this inequality preserved? Like an equation was always preserved. Let's see what happens. So suppose I multiply both sides by 4. So 4 times 2 and 4 times 3. So this is 8 and this is 12. So yes, 8 is less than 12. So even now, nothing changed in the sign of the inequality. Your 8 is still less than 12. So everything remained the same. Instead, suppose I multiply both sides by negative 4. What's going to happen now? Well, the left side is negative 8 and the right side is negative 12. Which one is greater? Negative 8 this time is greater. So you see how the sign of your inequality flipped when you multiplied both sides by a negative number. As long as you were multiplying both sides by a positive number, the sign remained the same. It was still the less than sign. This is where an inequality is different from an equation. In an equation, it doesn't matter whether you multiply positive number both sides or negative both sides. It's gonna still stay equal. That is why in this inequality, when I try to simplify, if I just multiply both sides by x minus 2, I don't know whether x minus 2 is positive or negative. I don't, right? If it is positive, the inequality will stay the same. It will stay this greater than equal to thing. But if it is negative, my inequality will flip like this. So there are multiple things I need to consider. I need to consider both those cases. A better way out is to not just multiply by the denominator. Instead, multiply by the square of the denominator. Now, obviously, because this thing is in the denominator, it cannot be equal to 0. Understand that no expression can have 0 in the denominator and be defined. It is just not going to be defined. Here then, it's a non-zero number and I'm squaring it. Will it be negative ever? No. So all of this problem about, this difference between positive, negative, that's out now because I'm taking the square of a non-zero number. It's always going to be positive. So this is where I get the guarantee that I am multiplying something positive on both sides. And as a result, my inequality will not change. When I do this simplification, you can cancel this denominator with 1 power. So you're going to have x minus 2, x plus 2 times x plus 3 greater than equal to 0. Everything on the right side obviously becomes 0. And this is the correct simplified form of the rational inequality you started with. If you don't do it properly, you will never have this third factor in the numerator. For somebody who just multiplies it on the right side, you're just going to have the rest of it, x plus 2, x plus 3 greater than equal to 0. So you will not get the correct simplification, and how and why this is so important you'll understand when we solve this in a question. So in a follow-up video, I'm going to link that here. In that video, I'm going to solve a hard official GMAT question that will use this same inequality in a setting. Obviously, it will not just be to simplify it. You're going to see how all of these steps done the right way will take you to the correct answer. Alright, so I'm going to take you there next time. For now, these are your takeaways. First of all, just a quick summary. When you want to simplify a rational equation, you're free to just multiply both sides by the denominator. And if it's a rational inequality, multiply both sides by the square of the denominator. So now it's all stated for you. Finally, these are practice questions that I showed you at the beginning. So all you need to do is you need to simplify this equation and this inequality, and in the comment section give me the simplified versions. Okay, so you're just going to write 1 and 2 in your comments and write the simplified versions. Okay, so let's just follow this format so that evaluation is quick. I'm going to read every single response, every comment that you send, and I'm going to personally correct if anybody makes a mistake. Alright, I will see you in another video. Like this video if you enjoyed it and subscribe to the channel for more. I'll see you again. Happy learning.